A very good morning, students. Let's continue our chapter, Working of Institution, and this is the last video of this chapter as well as our syllabus. Okay, so today we will discuss about the judiciary. Judiciary who protects our laws, who are judiciaries. So here in this chapter, from the very beginning, we have studied about there was some process going on against that Mandal Commission, right? So it was the Supreme Court, according to whose verdict that Mandal Commission was implemented all over India. Okay, so if in case there was no Supreme Court, if in case there was no judiciary, then what would happen? Who will implement those laws? If something happened to us, where should we go and protest? Where should we ask for help? If there was no judiciary. That is the reason judiciary is very, very important. And judiciary should be independent and powerful. Okay. Judiciary is an independent and powerful organization. And judiciary is considered the most essential thing in a democracy. In every democratic country, you will find judiciary as the most important or essential things. All the courts at the different levels in a country together put as a judiciary. Judiciary means all the courts in a country. In India, we have district court, we have high court, we have local level courts, right? Supreme Court. So all of these courts together called as the judiciary. Okay, at the state level you will find high court, and at the district level you will find district and the local level courts. Okay, and judiciary at the Supreme Court at the central level, and Supreme Court control all the judiciary information throughout the country. All high court, local level court, district court, they have to abide the verdict of Supreme Court. All other courts are under Supreme Court. Okay. So, and Supreme Court can or we can say any other courts in the country, they takes up disputes like between citizen and the country. If people are demanding something and the government is not following that type of dispute can be settled down in courts between citizen and the government, and between two or more state government, and between government at the union and the state level. Okay, so all these things, whatever disputes are there between the governments, between the people, between the country, or between the citizens, everything will be resolved in Supreme Court only, or the court. Okay, so the judiciary is the highest court of appeal in civil and criminal cases. It can hear appeal against the decision of the high court. Sometimes high court will give certain verdict, right? If people are not ready to accept that verdict, they will appear in the Supreme Court. They can again file a case in the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court is above all other courts. Okay, and whatever decision Supreme Court gives, that decision has to be accepted by all other courts. Because of this, because Supreme Court is in the very highest position, Supreme Court should be independent. No one can control Supreme Court, whether it's the government, whether it's the political parties or the high officials or anyone. No one can control our judiciary or the Supreme Court. Judiciary should be independent. Okay, there shouldn't be any pressure on the judiciary from the political parties or from the outside. Okay, and from any legislature or from any executive. Judiciary is above all. Judiciary is independent. And the judges of the Supreme Court and the high courts are appointed by the President on the advice of Prime Minister and the Prime Minister in consultation with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Okay, and in practice, the senior judges of the Supreme Court select the new judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Whoever is the senior judge in the Supreme Court, he selects all other judges in the Supreme Court and High Court. Okay. The senior most judge of the Supreme Court is usually appointed by the Chief Justice. Okay, and once a person is appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court or the High Court, he or she cannot be removed. It is impossible to remove him from that position once the appointment is done. Okay, and like the president, it is impossible to remove president, right, from the country. Similarly, the judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court is also cannot be removed from his position. And the judiciary in India is one of the most powerful in the world, and the Supreme Court and the High Courts have the power to interpret the constitution of the country. They can declare invalid any law of the legislature or the action of the executive, whether at the union level or at the state level, if they find such a law or action is against the constitution. And judiciary is the protector of the constitution. Okay, Supreme Court and the High Court, they are the protector of the constitution. If something happened against constitution, beyond constitution, then the Supreme Court and the High Court can act accordingly. They protect our constitution. Okay, no one has the right, whether it's the legislature or the executive, to go against constitution. If they go against constitution, at that time we have judiciary to control them. Okay, and Supreme Court of India, our Supreme Court of India is the guardian of the fundamental rights, because all the fundamental rights of the common people or the state or the individuals will be protected by the Supreme Court or the judiciary or the High Court. Okay, our fundamental rights are protected by our judiciary. That is the reason judiciary is the guardian of Supreme Court, guardian of this fundamental rights. Okay, and judiciary should be independent, and should be judiciary the power and the independence of the Indian judiciary allow it to act as the guardian of the fundamental rights. If the rights of any individual is violated, whether by the government or by the state or by any other person, at that time we can go to the court, and our judiciary will protect us. Our judiciary will fight with us, right, for the protection of our fundamental right. So we can go to the court also in case of any violation of our rights. Okay, and there is a public interest litigation also. If anyone approach the court, okay, if anyone goes to the court, if the public interest is hurt by the action of the government, if something has been decided by the government and that decision is not favorable for the public interest, favorable for the public, if the people think, the citizen thinks that the decision of the government is violating our rights, violating our interest, at that time, but if the public goes to the court to file a case, that time this type of case is known as public interest litigation. Okay, and the government, the court, the judiciary will check upon the government also, upon the political parties also, upon the malpractices or any other things. Okay, so everyone, whether it's a legislature or the executive or the political party or the government, they should be afraid of judiciary, because there is only one judiciary which will help, whether it's the common people or the government or the state or anything. Okay, we can go to the court. Even the government can go to the court. Even the state can go to the court if any dispute arises at that time. So at that time, judiciary should be independent. Judiciary should not be influenced by the higher officials or by the powerful person or by the powerful government. Okay, judiciary should be independent. If judiciary is independent, then only judiciary will be powerful and the respect will be there. Okay, so this is the end of this chapter as well as our syllabus. I'll provide certain few notes to you all, and please write it down and prepare for your final term. Okay.